Welcome to the Martian Enterprise tournament. We are in round 7 on IO. We have a game between NC Game Wizard, Litz Shadow, Marlontel, and Endgamer standing in for Gold Pylon. We have a Electronics colony, and Electronics is a green prize. Okay, what do you think about this map, right?
Well, unlike previous maps, there are not nice markets to kickstart your company unless you're starting with a founding on aluminum patch and selling those down and hey, going to fast HQ2, but by the time the money in the aluminum steel will be drained, oxygen is very awkward resource to produce. Oxygen, single tile produce 0.5, which is very little amount compared to this other markets. So it will be difficult for people to get the award easily without risking their advantages. That said, I still think going electronics is a good idea here because a colony supports it.
Yeah, and we also have a nomad here, and he will have enough to go to HQ2, luckily. But might really struggle with those upgrades going forward because of the electronic situation. Marlontel, the scavenger found in the corner, is the first to HQ2. He would have access to aluminum, carbon. And where's the closest oxide ice? So it's reachable. There are pirates. So we'll have to expose his oxygen shipments to pirates if that's what he wants to do. We had Lit Shadow and Endgamer founding first. They both went for Scientist, and they both have really solid founds. Close to aluminum, close to basalt, close to oxygen, oxide ice. Just a bit of carbon lacking. What do you think of the carbon on this map in general?
Carbon
is important for the fuel production and for the electronics.
Yeah, the amount of carbon itself is okay, but it is difficult or awkward for scientists to take use of it. Because good carbon or very high carbon is far away and it has no adjacencies. And there's triple here, but only one scientific can take advantage of it.
So I think that's a big advantage for Marlontel here.
Yeah.
Who, being a scav, funds on carbon. And it goes into, well, triple ion collector. It might be a bit too much.
Yeah, I think that's too much considering the market price.
Yeah. And the game wizard does have, oh, I missed this one. There's a high in the northwest corner. And he will use that one to go into triple electronics.
Yeah, I like NC going to electronics. It's the market and it's your upgrade resource. So NC has secured all the upgrade resources, should be able to upgrade in some time.
Yeah, makes a lot of money. And wow, the power price exploded. I think these iron collectors are doing their part and the steel mills.
Yeah, I think two of these should become nuclear plants to stabilize this power from Marlontel.
Yeah. Well, yeah, or even all three.
All three.
So yeah, basically he were committed to ions. Now the price is $6. Still costing him a lot in power. It's time to scrap them.
Yeah.
Let's see, who will benefit though? Is anyone looking? Oh, NC Game Wizard. He goes into double nuclear plant.
That's nice.
That is very nice. It's Shadow, however, choosing to power surge his electronics factories. I would have preferred to see it on the nuclear plants because they're more impactful, more expensive tiles. And you know they're not goon because the price of goons is 2k, which is the starting price. So the only one who can have a goon tile at this point in the game are the scientists who starts with the goon squad.
This Shadow might not have seen this nuclear plant coming down by the time the Shadow hit this tile. But when someone upgrades, it's a good idea to wait a few more seconds just to see what they are going to getting into. A strong mutiny on nuclear plant denying adjacency bonus from Marlontel.
And Lit Shadow going into double geothermal, which can be a solid choice. It's a bit delayed though because you have to send your really slow building drone out before that.
I think it's okay. Yeah. Because steel is not expensive, and if they're not going to go for superconductor play, they can just put 2 geos down and not worry about power for until they reach HQ5.
It's a solid late game plan, but you won't get your power money, which, unlike Marlantel here, he went into the triangle and he's 2 seconds away from power money. Yes, there we go, he made power money. Yay! I love power money.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Endgame was the first to HQ4, which is impressive as a scientist here, and already trying to look for some patents. And it's a really solid choice because Kim started half.
Interestingly, Endgamer is not taking advantage of scientific bonus in water processors.
Oh, right.
Because these 2 tiles could have been on solar condensers, and they do not have to produce this to power the water processors.
Yeah, it's a really big deal. And the market right now has $1 aluminum and $29 steel. So upgrades are really cheap here. I'm not sure what's going on. I guess just a lot of steel mills.
Oh,
yeah,
look
5
at the
steel
carbon.
mills from Endgamer and 4 aluminum mines. Okay, I know what's going on.
Look at the carbon price.
And the rising fuel price.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I'm not a fan of Marlantel's water processors here. They consume the fuel. They don't give you that much profit.
Yeah.
So usually you want to have you want to support them with fuel before you make them, because they actually consume 1 fuel each, while only consuming half an oxygen. So it's kind of fine to ignore the oxygen part, but you need the ion collectors or a really cheap, a really crashed fuel market.
NC is making a lot of a lot of fuel, thanks to double ion collector and the radiation storm. Other people are in a big what is the negative of surplus again?
Shortage?
Shortage? Yeah, shortage of fuel.
Yeah. Right, so I just pointed out that aluminum is $1. In IO, just buy it, because you will need that aluminum late game to bait the spice elevators.
And
so unless you already have 2,000 stockpiled, buy aluminum when it's below 10. Your future self will thank you.
Speaking of space elevator, the launch price is actually very good.
Oh wow! Look at that oxygen launch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People can think about HQ4 space elevator if they have prepared the aluminum for that.
When Endgamer can, he has 600.
Yeah.
And he grabbed the nanotech superconductor patents, now going after the synthetic meat.
Synthetic meat. It's a nice timed patent.
Yeah, it is. I would like to see a optimization center paired with it.
Yeah.
And I would like to see, I guess, carbon quarries? Like, you can't be without carbon on IO. Carbon is such an important resource.
I don't like endgamers scrapping out of water processor though, because this farm are going to make a lot of consumption. And by the way, other people, if they are if they're paying attention, this is a time for network virus.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So who should do it? Nobody's really making a ton of
Marlantel?
water. Marlantel, it's making 1. Yeah, I guess he should do it. Oh yeah, scrap his farms, go into more water. You can network virus both Endgamers and the NC Game Wizards farms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Endgamers are much better because there's 4 of them and they're boosted. Yeah, please do it, please do it. I want to see it now. And by the way, this is pretty typical of IO. Like the balance between water and food is so volatile.
Yeah.
Usually what it means is you don't want to really abandon some of the markets. You don't want to overcommit into them. You want a steady supply of water and food on IO. And sometimes you don't even want to auto sell. But, alright. I don't think Endgamer knows about scientists and water processors. Should we explain how it works? How does it work?
So Scientific can pull the raw materials they need to run this building directly from the tile underneath it. So if there's ice there, you can use ice. If there's aluminum or something, some resources there, you can pull it. If it is basalt, you can pull resources from basalt. And you can also slant drill resources that is not related to these tiles. So you cannot slant drill basalt and ice, but you can slant drill this aluminum and carbon and resources like that.
Yeah. And this carbon explosion has really prevented Molontel from upgrading. Unfortunately, he only has 3 carbon tiles here, 3 low carbon tiles. So what I might like to see out of him is to actually optimize carbon. You need it to transition, you don't have nanotech, and it's also worth $200. There's a lot of reasons to optimize carbon here.
Yeah. Interestingly, Marlonte is getting into steel.
Oh, wow.
It makes sense at this point, because Marlonte has a lot of iron.
Well, no, I don't think it does.
Yeah,
I think ions and chems and glass all make more sense than steel.
Yeah, I would have rather have seen more commitment into iron collectors or glass, as you mentioned.
Yeah, and of course, ions cost a bit more carbon than. No, they cost the same as a chem refiner. But I mean, you can overcome the carbon price. Just nobody else is really cashing in on that market. It's your market.
Or
Gamer did claim to them.
I think a good play as a scavenger would have been double mutiny on this carbon.
Oh, yeah. I like it.
Yeah. As a scavenger, you have 40-second cooldown, so you get your mutiny and deny other players from cashing into this very, very expensive carbon price.
Yeah. And I want to do a quick report on the briber claim status. So NC has bought 1 claim, Morantel 2, Lit Shadow 3 claims, and Endgamer 1 claim. So the extra claims situation really benefiting Lit Shadow here, and he's also HQ5, has the most amount of money. He seems to be doing really well for himself.
Yeah, I like this HQ layout. Has decent oxygen, has iron, and has a lot of land as well.
Yeah. Really don't love the lack of carbon. It's a big problem for him.
Lack of carbon and lack of optimization center for everyone.
Well, he has one, but he's not using it. That's also a big problem here. I'm not sure what I would optimize though without carbon. Okay. I would optimize chems if I could make it. I'm not sure I can with this carbon price. Yeah, this is tricky. So I like him in every aspect except this lacking carbon one, but that's a major one.
Yeah.
We'll see how it is with that. What if you just buy the scavenger? So all the carbon money you feed into him.
That's an ambitious plan, but if it works out, it's going to be great. NC Game Wizard first to build space elevator. That is excellent elevator.
Oh, yeah. It is. 43k. Most of the patents are owned by Endgamer, and he's in Dedept, so he could also be a good target for a buy. I'm not sure if people are looking to buy, probably not yet.
I think what NC should do right now is using these return claims, return the electronics factories which are off anyway, and invest those tiles into aluminum.
Carbon?
Here. Aluminum and carbon.
Oh yeah, aluminum too. Well, he can just scrap his water processors too.
That works too.
But yeah, you're right. He does not need the tiles that are off and are consuming. Also, yeah, aluminum was just like $120, and Endgamer sold a ton of it at like $1. I just want to point out the importance of stockpiling, not always auto-selling.
I like this shadow.
Oh, we do see. Lit Shadow did what I said.
Yeah, I like this shadow getting into my long tail. As in offer trading company, if the player who first buys stocks has a massive advantage on when it comes to takeovers.
Yeah.
And my long tail is a great sub because of this carbon claims.
I agree. Can I point out something about Shadow? First of all, I don't like if you're gonna buy carbon and do something, you should be doing it to make chems, and you should optimize chems. And also, he has farms that are losing you money,
Yeah.
that doesn't seem to be off. So one thing you can do to help with this situation is turn on auto off in the options. Then as soon as these turn unprofitable, they will not drain you money. This might be on purpose, I don't know, but just a good tip in general. Also, don't auto sell fuel when it's this cheap.
Yeah. Fuel can always
this
spike hard.
this solar player, look at the oxygen income. Wow.
Wow.
He's
500.
gonna buy Monotone real soon. Oh, instead of finishing the buy, he decides to invest in a space elevator. What do you think about this? Actually, he has transparent aluminum, so it was free for him.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
think he
fine.
paid anything. Yeah,
It's
fine.
almost
I agree.
free. So this shadow
And
should have
97%. Yeah. Really nice play from him. I'm impressed.
NC and Endgamer should try something to contest this. Mutiny on these elevators and popping goon if any, which using network virus can be one way to do it. And buying stock. Starting with buying stocks. I would prefer for those players to start looking into another offer, another space elevator, and also why are they not optimizing? Optimization is really strong right now.
Yeah. Yeah, Luciano has had it. He had an early. Oh no, he's not launching either. I'm worried. He's neither optimizing nor launching. He did this in the workshops too. We should talk to him about it. Teach him how to auto launch. And I want to point out, by the way, Molontel did start to optimize toward the end, but he only managed to finish one in carbon production. So not going to be the best sub compared to if he had a few more pips in it. But yeah, it's safely let Shadow use carbon.
Yeah, to be fair, other players are not optimizing as well, so it's kind of equivalent.
Yeah.
The pleasure dome is completed. I wonder what goes
so yeah, the sub of Molontel did just buy a space elevator. And this happens on IO, and I think the player should be ready for it, which means have a stockpile of aluminum. So when the price spikes, you sell it down and make basically free money off of someone else's sub. Really, really nice.
Nice mutiny from NC. And it is actually a mutiny goon. What will its shadow do?
Ooh.
Oh, unfortunately, the shadow is on cooldown, so they will probably don't want to take it back.
Yeah, he bought his 4th claim of the game. So he has as many Bravo claims as all the other players combined. It's a really nice situation to be in. So what do you do on the stock market as Lit Shadow right now? You just wait?
You can wait because you are not sure who is going to be more threatening. I think NC Game Wizard is the person who they should buy, because first NC is buying stocks in it, and also NC has more debt than ND Gamer, and also has
Space elevator delivery.
yeah, and they have the same amount of elevator, although they don't know because holograms.
Yeah, that's a fair. Yeah, that's a fair assessment. What I'm worried about in Lit Shadow's situation is if I buy into one of my opponents, that player can just sell out of me.
Yeah.
And then I've kind of wasted my money. So usually when I'm in Lit Shadow's position, I like to just hold my money. But I don't know, that might not be correct.
Yeah, speaking of selling out, this is also a valid strategy for players who think they are not going to win the race, to sell out and give the opportunity for the other player to buy into them and give themselves the second chance. Because Lit Shadow,
that's true.
after looking at that, NC does not have much money and Endgamer has so much money, might be scared and pull out and try to go for Endgamer.
Yeah. I'm a bit scared too. Endgamer sitting on 500k.
Yeah.
Although he does need a lot more to finish the buy. He needs 1 million. So 500k more to go. Yeah, I feel pretty safe with Lit Shadow, unless NC sells out.
And because Endgamer did not secure any stock in Lit Shadow, after Lit Shadow finished the buy on NC, their stock price is going to be 80, 90, and it will be very, very difficult for Endgamer to catch up.
Yeah. And everybody launching Oxygen has really created a situation with the Oxygen price. I'm sure it stands to benefit. Yeah, nobody really cashing in on Oxygen right now. Who got Liquid Batteries? Endgamer.
If I read List Shadow, what I would have done is transition 2 or 4 of these water processors into more solar condensers and try to make water the hard way, maybe in the greenhouse farm tiles.
Yeah, you don't need 5 greenhouse farms for sure. But he has 100% on NC, and NC isn't selling out, so I want to say Lich Shadow has this game pretty secured. Oh wait, he does have, yeah, look at his optimizations tab. So he has hundreds of chems tied up into future optimizations, so he doesn't see the red button yet.
Yeah.
So don't overqueue would be my advice.
Yeah,
don't underqueue, don't overqueue. Do just the right amount of queue. But he gets a buy, he gets the stock, and he can't lose at this point.
I like to queue current optimization and next patch of optimizations, so that I don't forget, I don't lose time on the queue.
Yeah, you can queue for like the next minute or 2 minutes if that's how often you check. But he is queued for like the next hour. That's a bit too much.
Yeah. Okay, so despite Endgamer having a lot of money, Lich Shadow's stock price was so high to overcome, and they're now at the same amount of money at hand and very widely different amount of money required to finish the buyout.
Yeah. And I see chat pointing out that Endgamer could have rushed that by selling out of his own stock.
Yeah.
And I didn't catch that. Maybe that's true, and that would be a really, really nice pay in that case. So in general, I brought this up before, but try to remember that your stock is also a stockpile of cash for when you need it. Desperate times call for desperate measures.
I like to point out that Endgamer has transitioned all the basalt towers into basalt platform, which is making good amount of money from uranium. And as scientific, it's easy to forget that you have this basalt that you can use for basalt platform, not only steel, glass, electronics, or nuclear plant.
And of course you transition all of them.
Yeah.
It is a thing you can do with nanotech. I might like to see, I don't know. Yeah, I think the main issue with Endgamer's base is just he didn't take enough oxygen tiles.
Yeah.
He had a really nice found with a lot of oxygen, but he never claimed them.
Scientific needs like at least 3 oxygen and more if they can. Like this Shadow, if oxygen market is bad, they can just use it for other uses.
Endgamer did a cute play, or half of a cute play. He mutinied the solar condenser that connected Lich Shadow's other solar condensers to his base, which means that these are now remote solar condensers, which means they can be magnetic stormed and pirated. There are no magnetic storms on the market, but he could have placed a pirate there too if you wanted to.
I would still prefer to see Mutiny on Space Elevator though.
Okay. I mean, it's making less money. Well, no. Yeah, maybe. Alright, Lich Shadow takes it. Very nice place from him.
Our methods continue to improve.
Well, he hasn't finished by.
Soon.
There we go. No, Lich Shadow takes it. That's a win for a horse with no name, and I believe it's their first win. We'll check the replays later, see who won after those court events.
Yeah.
But yeah, well played, Lich Shadow.
Congratulations.